League of Legends is played in 5 versus 5 team combat. Each player controls an individual champion, using its unique abilities to aid allies and destroy enemies. Each team has a base filled with minions, turrets, and most importantly, the Nexus. The first team to push into the enemy base and destroy their Nexus wins the game. Players kill enemy minions, turrets, and champions to acquire gold and experience, growing stronger over the course of the match. Gold purchases powerful items, while experience allows a champion to level up and improve their special abilities. The scoreboard at the top of the screen shows you how many champion kills and how much gold each team has acquired. While these numbers are good indicators of how each team is performing, the only thing that matters is the destruction of the Nexus. No game is truly over until the final seconds.
Three. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Hello. Hello. Donald, what is up with the walkie-talkie? What is it? Is it?
Wow, banana.
Hi.
You want to go do something?
thought we're unmuted. I thought we're unmuted. I thought we're unmuted. I was scared.
League of Legends is played in 5 versus 5 team combat. Each player controls an individual champion, using its unique abilities to aid allies and destroy enemies. Each team has a base filled with minions, turrets, and most importantly, the Nexus. The first team to push into the enemy base and destroy their Nexus wins the game. Players kill enemy minions, turrets, and champions to acquire gold and experience, growing stronger over the course of the match. Gold purchases powerful items, while experience allows a champion to level up and improve their special abilities. The scoreboard at the top of the screen shows you how many champion kills and how much gold each team has acquired. While these numbers are good indicators of how each team is performing, the only thing that matters is the destruction of the Nexus. No game is truly over until the final seconds.
Hello and welcome to the GPL 2013 spring season. I'm Djehuty and I'm here today with Fish. We're going to be casting two really exciting games. We're going to be watching the Singapore Sentinels, who are here at the Garena Stadium today, going up against the Saigon Jokers in the first match of tonight.
And after that, we have SF5 going up against the world champions, Taipei Assassins.
Right, so we did see SF5, the new team from Saigon. They're like kind of a partner team to the Saigon Jokers. They played against them yesterday. They made their debut yesterday against the Saigon Jokers, and unfortunately, they didn't manage to win, but they did show us quite a strong standing. I mean, those guys are a little bit new to the scene, and they are one of the new teams to the GPL, so I think we've got a lot to see from them in the future.
They did fairly well yesterday. They maintained almost an even gold lead. Actually had quite a few K gold advantage in one point of the game, but didn't manage to hold on to that lead, and Saigon Jokers did come out victorious in that match.
Right, it was a pretty close match from all the way from the start to the middle, and then at the end, the Saigon Jokers pulled ahead. But tonight, we're going to be watching the Singapore Sentinels going up against the Saigon Jokers. The Singapore Sentinels yesterday played their first game of the season against AHQ Esports, and they brought out some pretty unconventional strategies.
Yeah, they sure did. So AHQ, another new team to the GPL. And yesterday, we did see Chowie bring out Crit Plank in the mid lane.
That's crazy. I mean, we're in Season 3 right now, and there have been so many changes to League of Legends that it's changed a lot of the possibilities that you can play with in a competitive match. And watching Chowie pull out that Crit Plank was quite surprising.
Sure was. Even saw SGS Kyling bring out Annie as their support champion at the bottom lane.
And I heard it was Tofu, one of the ex-members of the Singapore Sentinels who left to enter national service, who suggested that champion being picked up there as a support. And Annie actually worked out pretty well there. They decided to do a lane swap with Misfortune and Annie at the top lane going up against the Bruiser. And it worked pretty darn well. I mean, Annie was able to charge up those stuns, was able to zone out the Bruiser very, very effectively. And Misfortune with that early game damage was what actually helped snowball the top lane for the Singapore Sentinels.
Yeah, so once again, my batteries have decided to hate me again and decided to tell me they were full, but they're not full today. So
really,
just put in the replacement batteries just then. So I can speak once again.
We're good to go. All right. So yeah, we're going to be watching SGS versus SAJ. What do you think they're going to pull out today? Are we going to see Crit Plank again?
Oh, hopefully we can see Crit Plank. Maybe Saigon Jokers might be a bit scared of that Crit Plank and ban him out today. That'd be quite interesting to see if that happens, and maybe some more unconventional strategies from both sides. And yesterday we did see Saigon Jokers have a little bit of a switch up in their normal lane strategies. We saw Nixwater go top lane on Elise and QTV go mid lane on Kassadin.
Right. Yeah, that was something that was a little bit strange. I mean, I'm not sure if that's just because they picked Elise as one of the champions, or whether they've truly swapped roles. Because on their roster, Nixwater is still listed as their AP mid player, and QTV is still their top lane, their bruiser. So whether or not they just switched it up just for that one match in particular, I'm not too sure. But it could be just because Nixwater is good at Elise, and we saw just how good he is with that champion. Elise is one of the more popular top lane champions right now.
Yeah, we actually saw Stanley first pull out that Elise against the Singapore Sentinels in the GPL playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. He had a
I think
fantastic
that was
showing with that.
that was the first time we saw Elise in a competitive match, and boy, is she really interesting to watch. The thing about Elise is that she's got these percentage-based spells, her Venomous Bite, and because of that, you can afford to build more tanky items on her and rely less on those AP ratios. Anyways, her AP ratios aren't that great, so if you build her up tanky, she still can deal a lot of damage because of that percentage-based damage.
And that repel on her kit actually gives her a great escape and a great chasing ability. Has such a large radius for her to jump to any opponent minion or any opponent. So she can either jump back to an enemy minion who's behind her or jump forward to the opponent who's in front of her and catch up.
So I know that a lot of people have been saying that repel is one of the strongest abilities. Like it's basically a Zhonya's.
Pretty much.
It's a Zhonya's with added mobility.
It's
free.
Almost the same as Fizz's Playful Trickster, but just a bigger range and a bit less
It has
damage.
larger range, and I think it lasts a little bit longer as well.
Yeah, you can stay up
So
in there for quite
it is
some time.
quite crazy. And to add on to that, you get vision of the surroundings, so you can use it to juke when you're in the jungle. You can use it to jump over the minion camps that you can't see because of the vision that it provides. You can even use it at the Baron to get vision of that area.
Yeah, and we do see Elise being banned out straight away by the Singapore Sentinels there, and no Gangplank ban from the side of the Saigon Jokers, so we might see yet another Gangplank being pulled out by the Singapore Sentinels here.
Right, so we have 5 bans out already: Malphite, Elise, Jarvan, Shen, Blitzcrank, and Lee Sin. A couple of things are left open here that I feel are really strong. Kha'Zix is out there, and just as I say that, first pick Kha'Zix, I think they might be sending him over either to the mid or top. He's such a flexible champion. And that's the thing about the new Season 3 meta. We have a lot of bruisers now making their way to the mid lane. And the reason why bruisers are now so good at the mid lane is because of the new Black Cleaver and the movement speed boost. So you don't have to buy boots as the first item anymore. And that helps bruisers out so much. That free movement speed allows the bruisers to weave in and out and last hit those minions. Or if they want, they can pick up more regenerative items like Crystalline Flask and 7 pots, and basically allows you to sustain against an AP mid, which you couldn't do before.
We do see Singapore Sentinels picking up straight away Misfortune, yet another common pick in this new season, especially due to the fact that Black Cleaver can be applied by her ultimate bullet time, and on not only multiple stacks, but on multiple opponents at the same time. We see Amumu being locked in as well by the Singapore Sentinels, most likely going into the jungle there. He is also a fairly common ban and a fairly common pick in the North American service and also in the Southeast Asian service right now.
And the perfect complement to Misfortune, I feel. I mean, once he lands down that Curse of the Sad Mummy, Misfortune is just going to have that perfect opportunity to use the bullet time. And the combination of that, we saw yesterday just how devastating Misfortune's bullet time can be on an opponent that has been disabled. Your whole team is going to be eating so much damage.
Sure, and on the side of the Saigon Jokers, we see Sona being picked up, most likely going as their bot lane support, and Cho'Gath here possibly going to the jungle, or maybe top lane. Kha'Zix and Cho'Gath can switch this up, but we might even see a Kha'Zix in the mid lane. As you were saying before, AD bruisers have become quite popular in that mid lane as of late.
Right, so it's quite flexible as of this point. The Saigon Jokers picks, they've got Cho'Gath, could be jungle, mid, or top laner, and Kha'Zix as well, mid lane or top lane. So they've actually got the advantage in terms of being able to kind of fool SGS if they know how to use up those remaining picks. Right now, SGS probably can't tell which lane which champion is going to, with certainty at least.
Just to see Singapore Sentinels picking up Olaf, most likely going for the top lane there. A very strong pick right now. Olaf has that ultimate Ragnarok, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
that
Ragnarok.
allows him to be immune to crowd control for a certain amount of time. And we also see, once again, SGS Kailing picking up Annie, most likely going to the bot lane support once again. I feel that this bot lane, Annie, MF, will be do quite well against a Sona bot lane.
There's so much burst damage that comes out of Annie MF. MF is one of those level 1 champions, low-level AD carries that puts out a huge amount of DPS early on. I think only rivaled possibly by Twitch. 2 of them are probably the highest DPS AD carries at the start of the game. And paired up with Annie, and that range that she has on her auto attack, they're going to be able to harass, and if they come in for that last hit, you're going to eat a double up as well as disintegrate. That's going to be a lot of pain.
Sure will, and the ultimate coming out from Annie with a stun charge will be able to lock them down with enough time for Miss Fortune to put out that bullet time and get some quite decent damage during the early laning phase there.
Yep, we're going to see Nidalee and Ezreal being picked up. The Ezreal is still one of the most popular AD carries. I feel actually the most popular AD carry, even despite all of the nerfs that he's received throughout the last couple of months. But it's just the fact that I think one of the reasons why Ezreal is still so popular is because they nerfed the cooldown of Flash. It's now 300 seconds. So the fact that Ezreal has a built-in Flash in the form of his Arcane Shift really gives him so much utility that no other AD carry can bring to the table.
And not only that, Arcane Shift has a longer range, actually much longer range than Flash. You can jump over pretty thick walls in both Summoner's Rift and Twisted Tree Line, if I'm not mistaken. And we do see, once again, Singapore Sentinels picking up that Gangplank, and he is going to be played by Chawi here.
Oh, we're going to see Crit Plank again. How awesome is this? Are we going to see QTV heading to the mid lane? Right now, it looks like Nixwater is locked onto the Nidalee pick over at the, could possibly go top or mid, you know. Right now, things are really flexible for them. What's interesting, though, is that they're going for double cleanse. They don't want to get caught out by that Annie. One thing we saw yesterday was that Annie, as a support, is very, very strong as an initiator because all you need her to do is just get in that flash and ult. And if she dies, so be it. So you, as an initiator, you don't care about whether you die. And that gives her a lot of power because you just have to watch out for her. She's going to just zone you out. And unless you're really careful, she'll be able to land that ult and put your team in big trouble.
And that's also going to be comboed out really well by Amumu in the jungle for SGS here. Once Annie goes in for that initiate, or if Amumu goes in for the initiate, either or can follow up with another stun and another AoE stun to follow up with that. It's going to lock down majority of the Saigon Jokers for quite a long time. It's also going to allow LY4 here to put out his bullet time and get maximum amount of damage onto the Saigon Jokers.
It's a really powerful combo that they have right now. Add on to that the fact that they've got Gangplank. Don't forget they've got Gangplank with the Cannon Barrage. It's going to be hard to run away. And of course, it's a global ult, so there's lots of stuff that he can pull off with that.
Not to mention those parlays coming up after everybody's going to be stunned. It's going to be so exciting to watch.
Yeah, we saw a pretty interesting build that he went yesterday. He went for a Crit Plank, started off with the Tear of the Goddess, and then went, I think, straight into his Infinity Edge after that.
He went into the Static Shiv first. He
got the Static Shiv, you're right. Static Shiv, very interesting item on Gangplank. And it kind of makes sense because Gangplank, you're going to be moving around a lot. The way the Static Shiv works is that it builds up charges as you move around. So here we are, heading into that first match, the Saigon Jokers versus the Singapore Sentinels. If you're here supporting the Singapore Sentinels in the stadium, let's make some noise for them. They're going to be playing this first round. Come on, guys. Let's make some noise for the Singapore Sentinels.
So we are in game right now, and unfortunately I cannot say everybody is buying those brown shoes anymore. No more shoe shopping for both teams here. Just one member on the Saigon Jokers with the brown boots today. Nixwater is going to be putting down those traps. It's going to be interesting to see if Nixwater does go for an AP Nidalee.
Right, AP it is. He's got 23 ability power.
Which was very popular in Season 1, and just going to Season 2 as well, which was made extremely popular by Hotshot GG, which was a #1 pick or ban against his team. Kyling looks like he's going to get aggressive here. Puts down the ward at that Wraith camp for the Saigon Jokers. Going to grant them a little bit more vision as the game goes on.
Kazakh starting out with the Crystalline Flasks and Pots combo. It gives him a lot of sustain in the lane. We also see Chawi going for the same Crystalline Flask build. Gives him so much sustain. And that is one of the reasons why right now bruises are working out so well in that middle lane.
They sure are. And this Fairy Charm, if I'm not mistaken, and the Crystalline Flask on Gangplank is going to allow him to put out those parlays onto the minions and grant him a little bit of extra gold generation. And it looks like Saigon Jokers might get caught out here. Safety does get stunned. Harleya goes in with the bandage toss. He is very low, but Harleya is now out of position. Will he flash really well? Yes, managed to get the flash over, but majority of the Saigon Jokers come over as well. Exhaust goes into Kazakh. LY4 solo gets taken down first, but the Kazakh Chawi does take down Safety eventually. Kylie hits the blue buff and then decides to flash over, giving a little bit of a leash to QTV there. And a 2-for-1 trade for the Saigon Jokers. when Singapore Sentinels went to invade into the jungle, and this is going to be devastating for Hallelujah. As a Mumu, you do rely on blue buff quite a bit in the early phases of your jungling.
And one has to wonder if that was actually a planned out bait by Sona. I mean, she had that heal. And I'm surprised that they didn't put down any ignites. Look at that. No ignites were used on her. And I think that was one of the reasons why she was able to survive all of that burst damage. They didn't manage to land an ignite on her.
So a kill goes to Ezreal this early on. It's allowed him to pick up a Vampiric Scepter at level 1. This is going to be devastating for the bot lane of Singapore Sentinels, but actually they do decide to do a lane swap. Looks like they do put Annie and Misfortune top, but right now Junie is in a tight spot here. Puts the Rupture onto nobody. Now Chowie knows he is. He is going to go for a run in between the towers here. Flashes early to avoid the second tower hit. And looks like Hallelujah is going to try and converge here. Does have his bandage off, but decides not to engage onto Junie there.
But he didn't manage to force out that flash. QTV right now having this unfavorable matchup at the top lane, 2 versus 1 against Misfortune and Annie. And we did see yesterday just how much zoning potential there is from that Annie. Are we going to see another dive? Yesterday we saw Hallelujah playing Jarvan, managed to get a very, very game-changing dive at level 2 at the tower that allowed the Sentinels to pick up an early turret and really exercise map control all over and throughout the game.
Sure did, but looks like right now they're trying to freeze that lane at top lane, deny Kha'Zix as much CS as he can. GTB does get stunned by Kyling, a little bit of damage and poke going down by Kyling. The huge rage on Annie's allow her to put down massive auto attack harass. Chowie is also taking a little bit of poke from Nixwater, who's going to be able to heal himself up quite easily. He's going to be trying to parlay as many minions as he can though.
Over at the bot lane, it looks like SAJ doesn't want to freeze the lane. They want to go with a different strategy. They want to just push down that turret. And oh my goodness, we didn't even see that. QTV that's grabbing another kill onto Hallelujah as he was in jungle. They had the ward at the red buff.
Smart play by QTB. He was getting a little bit zoned at top lane. Decided to see what he can by roaming around. Noticed that Hallelujah was doing his red buff. Maybe he didn't see him coming and waited in the brush for Hallelujah to get low and managed to kill him there. Hallelujah is still level 2. It's not something you want to see on a Mumu in the jungle. He is normally at a jungle that can clear his camps pretty fast and level up much faster than the opponent jungler, but he must get a good start in order to do that, and that is not what he's been getting.
At the mid lane, let me just clear up the scoreboard at the bottom so we can just keep going on. I'm just going to clear up the scoreboard so we can see who's out CSing who.
And Nixwater here was putting down some poke onto Chowie there. He's able to heal himself up pretty effectively. Those pots and crystalline flask that he has there still has pretty good mana, so you can still parlay the minions. He's not going for any poke at all into Nixwater. He's just concentrated on farming up those minions. It looks like we do have a gank onto Kha'Zix up at top. Ignite has gone down on him early. Kyling does get the stun until Hallelujah falls on the banish off, and LY4 does pick up the kill. Now it looks like SGS are going to push onto this top tower as fast as they can.
This is the same strategy that they employed yesterday. Where
Bot lane looks like they're getting ganked as well.
Oh, they're coming in here for Darkness, missing that stun. This is going to be tough. It's all the way back here in the second turret. But this is the same strategy that SGS pulled off yesterday, where they come in with that early gank, but they weren't able to pull it off as well as they did before because of the fact that they did lose that first jungle engagement, leaving Hallelujah a little bit further behind than Junie.
Like Saigon Jokers are going to keep all 3 members at this top lane, going to try and put down as much damage as they can and try and shut down Darkness as much as possible. He's going to try and last hit these creeps and clear them as fast as possible, so the tower does aggro onto the Saigon Jokers though, and it forces them to back away.
Chowie here being really pushed back in the lane by Nixwater. You can see Nixwater is just so aggressive. Nice use of that Cougar attack. The Cougar form there. And pouncing away before the turret puts down too much damage onto him.
Singapore Sentinels going for a really early dragon here. Hallelujah is only level 3. It might be a little bit risky to take this. They're putting wards around left, right, and center just to make sure nobody comes. Darkness wisely tanking the dragon there. Chowie is just going to hold mid away from immediately. Looks like they do pick up the first dragon of the game, 6 minutes and 47 seconds in.
At the top lane though, QTV has taken advantage of that by forcing the wave all the way up to the turret. Wants them to lose as much CS as possible.
It looks like QTV is taking that build that we were talking about yesterday on Kazik. Looks like he is going for that mana mune as the first item, has the long sword and the Tear of the Goddess right now, and picking up as many stacks as he can. It's interesting to note that Saigon Jokers do have a pretty decent poke comp here. The spikes coming out from Kha'Zix will do some pretty decent damage with the 80 scaling he will get from his items. The Rupture and Silence from Junie along with the Ezreal poke and also the Needly Spears are going to be hitting for a lot, especially due to the fact that he's building AP carry.
You're right, you're really right. I just noticed that this is a poke composition that the Saigon Jokers have gone for. SGS once again has more of a hard engage composition. Cannon Barrage being used here. Are they going to go in? Safety is not level 6 yet. He doesn't have that all. They're going to go straight on to Junie. Junie taking quite a fair bit of damage now. The Ignite does go down onto him. Hallelujah, however, is in trouble right now. Manages to duck in the brush and escape from that one. Right now, they're changing up their targets, trying to go back onto safety, but there isn't enough DPS to finish them off. Whoa, dodging the spear there, just barely.
That spear from Nixwater is what set it off there. After he landed the bandage touch onto Junie, a spear came straight out from Nixwater, putting Hallelujah into the danger zone there. Archie getting a little bit low there. I think he had to either, yes, he had to use his splash here to get away from that one. And the mid tower from the Singapore Sentinels is very low right now. The Saigon Jokers could take this at any moment.
LY4 is in trouble. He's being stalked by Kha'Zix here. Kha'Zix is going to be a very, very difficult opponent to fight in a 1v1 situation. All because of that passive of his.
Saigon Jokers do take down the middle tower for the Singapore Sentinels. They now have 2 towers compared to the Singapore Sentinels, 1 at top lane. They are really roaming around the map a lot. We did see Kha'Zix all over the map recently, up top, middle, and bottom. Wanted to see if they do continue this.
So Hallelujah, they're making sure to get rid of that ward. He doesn't want to get countered here. And I don't quite get why he put down the ward here. I think it was a misclick. I think he, or no, he put that ward down first at the blue buff.
Probably put it there just.
So he's really, really afraid here. He's he's being very careful not to get counter jungle anymore because he's already behind. You can see that Cho'Gath has that 38 minion score. And he's only sitting at 29. But he's managed to pick up a Philosopher's Stone that will help relieve some of the pressure.
Shobo, he has managed to catch up quite a bit there, picking up that Philo Stone and farming his jungle a little bit more. Along with those ganks he has pulled off, he managed to get 3 assists from it.
He's ahead in gold actually. So despite that, a little bit of a rocky start early on, he's managed to pick it back up and bring himself back into the game. And that is not something that's easy to do. Oh, wow. That was more than half his health bar there. Kylan getting chunked by the spear.
We have seen the famous hotshot Nidalee spears coming out and actually doing almost half health to any AP, AD carry or support champions in Season 1 and early Season 2. And that's what we are seeing now from Nixwater here. Those spears are putting out a ton of damage. Another spear goes out. Chowie wisely deciding to cancel his teleport and to back away from that.
So right now they're going to switch lanes back up. Darkness has been holding up this top lane. Seems to have been able to zone out QTV. QTV initially had that CS lead, but now it seems like Darkness has pulled ahead.
Did have Hallelujah look like he's trying to camp at the top lane to see if he could gank off at top, but QTV is nowhere in sight, so Darkness is just going to push out this wave as fast as he can.
Over on the side of the bottom lane, it looks like Ezreal and Misfortune are pretty even up on the CS, but Misfortune a little bit ahead of goal because of the dragon pickup.
Ezreal does have that BF sword though right now. MF only has 2 long swords and the Vamp Scepter. They're still going to be fairly even in trades. Those long swords are going to help pull back some damage. And the stuns coming out from Annie will help a lot in those team fights, but we'll see which AD managed to pull out ahead later in the game. Archie is on his favorite champion, Ezreal, right now. We have seen him do very well on Ezreal, so it's going to be good that he's playing a champion he's very good at.
Nixwater here is really, really putting the pressure down on this mid lane. He's got that ward very far ahead. Oh, the damage from the static shiv combo and the parlay.
And the bleed going to be applied from Chowie's passive, and the red buff is going to do some devastating damage as well now.
QTV and Darkness going head to head here at the top lane, but Cho'Gath is coming in to help him out. The Ragnarok gets used. He's going to get feasted. Ghost has been used, and he's not going to be able to get out of that one. Overcommitting in that fight just a little bit too much.
Darkness face checks the brush, thinking Kazik is trying to juke away there with his invisibility, only to run into a Cho'Gath just ready to feast on him straight away.
He got baited out of that fight, thinking that he could take down Kazik, and in fact, he probably would have won the fight against Kazik's one-on-one, but then obviously QTB knew what was up. He knew that Juni was on the way. And Hallelujah there with a ward. Oh, they're gonna go straight onto Archie. The cleanse gets used. Cannon Barrage comes down. He's gonna be able to get out of that one with a little bit of health, but the bottom turret will definitely go down here. I don't think that they have enough to hold it up.
One true shot barrage here, taking out almost a quarter of Hallelujah's life. He is now at half health. We did see Darkness try to teleport down on the ward, was a bit too late. A good cleanse, as you said, from Archie there, keeping away from the damage of bullet time and the cannon barrage. Looks like Singapore Sentinels will try and take yet another dragon here.
They gotta watch out for that Nidalee Spear though. Could potentially deal enough damage. They have to smite though, and that will secure the dragon for them.
Now he's going to continue to farm this top. He did have the Avarice Blade earlier, so every last hit he got would have given him a little bit extra gold, and Parlay itself as a build-in passive, which would give him extra gold every time he last hits a minion with Parlay. So he's going to be stacking up gold there. Look at that. He has the most gold on his team right now with over 5,000 gold, 99 CS, 2 kills, and also the passive from Static Shiv and his Parlay.
Right. At this point of the game, it is just so close. Only 1,000 gold lead for the Singapore Sentinels. But I have to say, despite the lead that SGS has, I feel like SAJ has been putting down more pressure all the way across the map.
So it's been a little bit more quiet as of late. Looks like both teams just trying to farm it out. We do have 3 turrets down on the side of Singapore Sentinels. The top, middle, and bottom turrets are down, and the second bottom tower is a little bit low right now. While for the Saigon Jokers, sorry, the top and bottom tower is down, but no other lanes have been pushed as significantly as they have.
You can see here, Chawi on Gangplank going again for that Infinity Edge build. He picked up the BF sword, Hallelujah, smite stealing that Wraith back. It's like, you're not gonna get that. You counter jungle me enough in the early game. Not anymore, friend, not anymore.
Hallelujah was set back quite a bit. We do see Juni is a level ahead of him, and he now has 15 CS above him, so he's not going to be as useful in the team fights. But if he does land that Curse of the Sand Money and a Bandage Toss, it's going to lock up one champion on the side of the Saigon Jokers for enough time for the rest of the Singapore Sentinels to take them down efficiently.
Kha'Zix has built up that Mana Mune, and the problem though is that it's not very easy for him to charge up those charges. He's only got 250 mana out of the required 700 before it actually converts himself to a Muramana. And that means he'll be getting it very, very late on. So it's kind of a risky investment there for him, picking it up on Kha'Zix. He's going to have to wait quite a while before he gets the bonus damage.
Still see Chawi parlaying as many minions as he can. Look at that, 632 damage on a crit and 300 crit onto a cannon minion. Kai Ling and Chawi trying to get onto Archie here. You might have to Arcane Shift away if Chawi does come in for that parlay. That's damage, not even a crit there. Taking out more than a quarter of Archie's health. It'd be devastating to see what a crit can do to him.
Look at Nixwater here, just putting down the pressure at the top lane. He was at mid lane applying that pressure. Now he's at the top lane. Oh, and they're going to come straight on to LY4. Beautiful coordination there. Safety, I think, flashing forward for... No, it wasn't even safety flashing forward. They just managed to land that crescendo without a flash.
Nixwater flashed and then pounced onto LY4 to pick up the kill there. Quite a lot of damage to LY4. So look at that damage from one spear. Taking down Hallelujah, the main or the second tank of the Singapore Sentinels, to half health.
And they're going to tank this turret. That's how confident they are right now. Juni actually deciding that he's not afraid of SGS.
We did see Juni tank a tower at top lane yesterday just so that his minions could push up a little bit more at the top lane. That was just to take him down as fast as possible. Chawi's now trying to hold off mid lane from the pressure coming in from Archie and QTB. Ezreal and Kha'Zix are going to try and put as much pressure as they can. The spikes go out, put a pretty decent damage on the Chawi there. Heals it up straight away with an orange though. And now he's just going to go back to parlaying all the minions that he can.
And this is the classic poke comp against hard engage comp where one team is trying desperately to force the team into a fight, while the other is trying to stay away and play a poke game. So SGS really needs to probably gather up and force a fight in one of the lanes, because if they keep playing this poke game, Nidalee and Kazakhs are going to win it.
So majority of single percenters are gathered up mid lane. Now those spikes, once again, look at Chowie all the way down to almost no health from one spear and spike from QTV and Nixwater. Had to use the oranges to make sure he's okay. Another spear goes down. Bandage toss goes on the mirror. Flashes from the curse with the sand money. Sense comes up Nixwater, and bullet time does go down. QTV is lurking in the back though. He does get exhausted, and the rest of the single percenters do turn on him. Has to flash away. Uses the second active of his ult to get away. The spear just misses from Nixwater as well. Void spikes go out. Kyling is very, very low. Lupture gets on him. He does have the stun though. Doesn't manage to use it. Does get taken down by a spear from Nixwater.
Oh, and QTV goes right back in there. He is nuts right now. The Cannon Barrage comes in there. He's got Ignite on him. He's going to be able to get out of that one alive. And that was just so well executed by the Saigon Jokers. Great poke. What they want to do is stay out of those hard engages, and they did that so well. I now know why Nixwater has that cleanse. Perfect. Allowing him to escape from that hard engage. And he has to be able to do that, because if he gets taken out early on in these fights, they lose a lot of that firepower.
Nixwater on Nidalee here does have a lot of single target damage, but he is very squishy as well because he is building ability power. He has the Chalice, Sword Boots, 2 Dorans, and a Void Staff. His spears are going to be doing a lot of damage, and also his swipes are going to be doing a ton of damage on the enemy team, but he needs to be in single target range. If not, single sentinels can converge to it. Same with Kazakhs on QTV here. For if he does get into the middle of Singapore Sentinels, he's going to be bursting out very fast, but he can single out a target. As if Nixwater can single out a target, they will be able to do a massive amount of damage. Look at that one spear, taking out Hallelujah to less than half his health.
Wow, he's gone for a pretty interesting first item there. Straight away, Void Staff, so he's got so much magic penetration on him. And it is just burning through SGS.
The 2 main tanks of Singapore Sentinels, Olaf and Amumu, taking so much damage from just one spear, not even at maximum range just yet. Tides seem to have turned for the Saigon Jokers right now. They are now picking up their first dragon of the game after Singapore Sentinels managed to take the first 2. So right now, the tides have turned. The goal lead is in the hands of the Saigon Jokers, 29.4 compared to 27. So they've got a 2.5k goal lead. And it's not that big a lead right now, but looking at the way the teams are playing out, it looks like Saigon has a nice advantage. Good use of the brush and the pounce by Nixwater there. Ran into the brush and pounced away from the direction of the spear to get maximum range on it. Deal an increased amount of damage to Darkness there. He's going to push up that top lane, and nobody in Singapore Sentinels is up there to stop him just yet. Darkness is trying to get up there, and LY for looks like he's going to converge on top lane as well.
Oh, look at those spikes from Kazakhs. So much damage. And this is a huge problem. SGS is investing 3 champions to defend just 1 buff from Kazakhs. And this is the story of the game so far. SAJ has been putting down so much pressure, forcing SGS to send members all over the place, and preventing them from using their better team fight composition. By splitting them up, they can't go for that 5v5 they need to win.
We have Nidalee coming down to this bottom lane. Safety does have to flash away from that one. Looks like he's about to get engaged on by Amumu there. Nidalee is now pushing the mid lane. Darkness is coming down to defend it. QTV putting on those spikes, doing some decent poke damage to the Singapore Sentinels here. They're going to try and get a hard engage here, if I'm not mistaken. Kyling does have his stun off. Misses the bandage toss onto SGS. Onto QTV, sorry. Darkness does teleport onto a ward though. Gets QTV down very, very low. Pops the spikes. And Archie does get a kill onto Kyling though. They're now chasing on LY4, who does get ruptured up. Darkness is going to try and help him out. Does go onto Junior. Archie's going to shift to the wall. Gets good damage down to Archie. Now Darkness is going to bash. Does get feasted on. He does get taken down by Archie. A 2-for-0 trade. QTV is very low though. And LY4 is in a bad position. Will he take down QTV? Heal does come out. Bullet time managed to take him out, but he does get taken down by safety there. He's going to allow... Oh, that spear just missing.
The Cannon Barrage has to be used here because they're risking the loss of an inhibitor turret. But the minion wave is back, and SAJ is going to take down this inhibitor turret. Unless somebody comes in, Chowie comes in, tries to stop this. We do see a nice combo between Amumu and Kyling, but there's not enough damage here. They land that combo a little bit too late. And
Nixwater
Nixwater will try to go in there to finish Chowie. They managed to peel them off of that inhibitor turret, but at huge cost there.
The Saigon Jokers now have almost a 4K gold advantage onto the Singapore Sentinels. It's gonna be able to help them out quite a lot. They managed to continue this lead. They do have most of the outer turrets down and one inhibitor turret pretty low right now. That's gonna be great for the Poke Tom to continue sieging these towers. Singapore Sentinels really need to get a 5-on-5 hard engage onto the Saigon Jokers in order to come back into this game.
Annie here, helping to pick up the red buff for Misfortune. And SAJ at this point of the game, what they need to do is just continue putting all this pressure onto SGS. They don't have much of a goal lead, but in the team fights they've been doing so much better. They're just so slippery right now. Nixwater and Archie both have that cleanse, and it's making it so difficult for SGS to go for that engage. Here they come for Hallelujah. Hallelujah is in trouble. The Palm's dealing so much damage.
Ooh, almost
And he's gonna
taking out
juke that
Hallelujah.
last spear there. Chowie pushing into that bottom lane. He might find himself in a bit of trouble here. Ezreal trying to jump in on him. Forced to use the cannon barrage.
Aiden Orange is going to try and juke away from 3 members. I don't think he can juke for so long though. At the final shot comes out from Archie to take him down.
Yeah, he was trying to put a little bit of pressure on the bottom lane there, trying to push it out. But I think that he got a little bit too overzealous with that.
Looks like Darkness and Hallelujah are going to try and go into the next water. He just changed to the Cougar form and pounces away from that one. While the rest of the Saigon Jokers are going to push down on this bottom lane. Oracle's Elixir is on Djehuty now. He's going to be able to clear those wards and deny map vision to the Singapore Sentinels. Archie and KTP going to take down this last outer turret of the Singapore Sentinels and then finally push on to these inhibitors here.
And it's tough because Chowie's down, his cannon barrage is down as well. Nixwater's putting up the pressure at the top, and at the bottom lane they've got Juni, QTB and Archie trying to chip away at that bottom turret as well.
It's interesting to note that Ezreal has also picked up a Black Cleaver here, so his pokes are going to deal increased amount of damage if he manages to hit the same target multiple times.
And it's a nice thing paired up with Kha'Zix as well, because Kha'Zix does a lot of AD damage.
Kha'Zix
So if he's able to apply it to an important target, Kha'Zix will be able to get in there and burst them down.
Kha'Zix has a lot of armor presentation himself with that Brutalizer and Last Whisper built up, along that Mana Mune. Gonna do a lot of damage. Hallelujah tried to banish Tussin, meets a spear, takes down a quarter of his health. Doesn't manage to get anything out of that though.
Nidalee once again, just at the top lane all day, every day. Even Sona helping out with this split pushing strategy. And there really needs to be some kind of engagement here from the Singapore Sentinels. Otherwise, they're just gonna get poked down all day. You can see that Kha'Zix with the Void Spikes is dealing so much damage.
No sideboards or Gopher 5s being picked up. I mean side stones or Gopher 5s being picked up by the Saigon Jokers here. Sona went to rush that Aegis of Legion as fast as she can. That's going to help her team out in these sieges, give them extra armor, extra magic zip, and extra health regen as well.
And here comes the poke from Nixwater, getting in as many hits as he can before Darkness shoves him off of that.
Those spikes coming out from QTV managed to clear all the range minions. It's going to help him push out these lanes much faster. All of Saigon Jokers are split up between all 3 lanes, pushing them as much as they can, putting pressure on every single lane to deny Singapore Sentinels from hard engaging onto any one of them, or if they do, they will risk losing one of their inhibitors or maybe 2 of their inhibitors from one engage.
SAJ, they have so much control of the map right now. They can just afford to back off, pick up the dragon. They've got so much vision as well. You can see here, they can see almost the entire map while SGS is practically blind. The only thing they can see right now is their base. They're at risk of Baron being picked up if they're not careful here.
Chowie has picked up that Boots of Swiftness there. It does decrease the slows coming onto his champion by 25%. It's going to be good for those spikes coming out from QTB and even the aftermath of the Rupture coming out from Choga. Help him get away from those situations even better. does have that Infinity Edge now as well, so his crits are going to do a little bit more damage. He does that with a static shift proc, is going to be able to chunk quite a fair bit of damage, quite a fair bit of health from any member of the Saigon Jokers.
So it looks like SAJ is just going to back off of that pressure for a little while. They may be trying to force a Baron here. Djehuty moving into the Baron pit, looking for any kind of wards. And I'm sure that there's none there, so he's going to go straight for it. QTV is going to be able to hold them off here, using those void spikes. He's practically zoning out the entire team by himself.
The rest of Saigon Jokers are doing that Baron right now. They do have the Feast from Cho'Gath. Singapore Sentinels do not know that they are doing Baron right now. They can only suspect that they have either gone back to base or doing that Baron buff. They do pick it up with the Feast coming from Cho'Gath, and they are going to back away before they go on for another push.
The gold advantage now is pretty large. About 7,000 gold here for the Saigon Jokers. And this is not looking too great for SGS.
11 to 4 kills and 6 to 2 turrets in favor of the Saigon Jokers right now. They have Baron buff. They've taken out all the auto turrets, and now they're just going to keep split pushing. We see Nixwater still at top lane on Needly, going to try and push out that top. Archie was at bottom lane, decided to teleport home, get some items before he continues his push there. Looks like, actually no, sorry, QTV was at bottom lane pushing there. Archie's at mid lane with Sona right now, trying to push up. So Cho'Gath is going to clear his jungle before he goes for the push. Nope, decides to go straight down to bottom lane. So we're going to see if the single percenters manage to get a hard engage onto any one of them while they are not pushing on the other lanes.
Here they come with that Baron buff. The pressure is going to be even greater than before because you're going to be able to regenerate so much health and basically just force the push very, very hard. Nice poke there from Archie, chipping away at Thailand. The middle turret here is just barely standing. It's going to take a few more hits before it goes down here. Cleanse is up on both Archie and Nixwater, so they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive in their poking. They have one get out of jail card there in the form of that cleanse.
It's a great use of the sight wards on the outside of Singapore Sentinels base, and the vision wards on the inside. It's going to deny some vision for the Saigon Jokers to stop them from poking them as efficiently, but they have broke into the base, taking down the middle inhibitor turret, and now they are taking down that inhibitor with no response coming out from the Singapore Sentinels.
And they can't right now. That Baron buff is just so deadly. All they can hope to do is really hold out for as long as possible. They're going to go for a QTV here, but there doesn't look to be enough damage. Yes, they do have enough damage to take him out. They do lose the inhibitor turret though, and they're going to try to chase down SAJ, but in the meantime, we do see at the top lane, Nixwater is pushing. Archie now, the subject of all of this damage, manages to arcane shift over the wall, and LY4 comes in with a bullet time to finish him off. He's going to be one-on-one with Archie right now. Who's going to win this one? Archie gets away. But Chowie shuts him down at the top lane though. They've neglected Nidalee, and they were forced to allow her to just push down that top lane because otherwise they would have been just slowly choked in their own base.
And as we were talking about before, even though Singapore Sentinels got that hard engage that they were looking for straight onto QTB, taking down straight away, a 4-for-1 exchange, they left Nixwater top lane, and that allowed them to take down 2 inhibitor turrets, so now there are no more inhibitor turrets left for the Singapore Sentinels. With their mid inhibitor turret down, Chowie's going to find Nixwater here, gets the parlay off, but a little bit too late. One parlay taking him down to half his health there.
What needs to happen right now is that SGS needs to get strong enough for at least one member to be able to defend against Nidalee effectively. And are they going to be able to do that? Because Nidalee right now, the team for SAJ has an 8,000 gold advantage. So in order for one of them to be able to face up against her, just look at that gold that she has. It's going to be tough.
They also need to shut down QTB a lot faster. We saw in that fight, even though they shut him down straight away without him being able to use any spells, it took Annie's ult, it took Cannon Barrage, Curse of the Sad Money, and even a Bandage Toss, along with the full firepower of LY4 and Darkness on QTB to shut him down early. That left little crowd control for the follow-up fight and ended in a 4-for-1 exchange, but they weren't able to get back to Nixwater in time.
Then the last fight, they still had turrets, and in this fight, they don't have any inhibitor turrets, so it's going to be even more difficult. And you can see here, Nixwater chunking that inhibitor. He's got a lot of damage. And here they come, jumping in on Darkness, not landing the Void Spikes. Darkness is going to try to shove them off of that. And look here at the two-pronged approach. It's going to be so difficult for them to defend against this. Look at the damage from Archie and the mobility as well. It's going to be so hard for Chowie to hard engage on this one. He's already too low on health for them to go in here. Darkness as well, getting poked down. The inhibitor at top goes down, the inhibitor at bottom goes down. And right now the Singapore Sentinels are being corralled in the middle of their own base.
So now all three inhibitors that are down for the Singapore Sentinels, they only have their Nexus turrets to defend. They're gonna have 2 super minions from each lane coming into their base. It's gonna be very, very hard for them to defend. One of their inhibitor turrets is already solo. Nyx Water trying to get as much damage onto the second turret here. Once they go down, they'll have a free run onto the Nexus. True Shot Barrage doing so much damage there to LY4. He has to back away. QTB taking down the first inhibitor turret there. The second one will go down. A last engage here. Hallelujah does come in. Gets the banish onto the safety. Does not use his curse this time on him. There it goes. QTB is stunned there. Archie uses the cleanse to get away. Anti-Bear comes out. Safety is taken out, but that is not the target you want. Chowie has to flash away. Kailing is finally taken down. LY4 in the middle of everything does get taken out. Junie does also get taken down in that fight though, so it is a 2-for-2 exchange right now, but the Nexus turret is exposed. QTB is on it, and Saigon Jokers do take the game.
That is going to be a very, very well-played match there by the Saigon Jokers, pulling off impeccably their poke composition, just so well executed. I mean, all they had to do that game, or rather their main goal that game was to split up the Singapore Sentinels and put all of that pressure in the lanes, and they did that perfectly. They played that poke comp just right on the dot. I mean, I can't see how they could have done that better.
And even in the past 2 fights, it looked like the Singapore Sentinels were going to come on top, but the damage was already done by that poke composition. 3 inhibitors down, 2 super minions from each wave. It was impossible to defend, even though they went even 2-for-2 in trades there.
And SAJ had just this strategy in mind. They knew that SGS had that strong, very, very powerful team composition when it came to team fights. I mean, between Annie's ult, Amumu's ult, Gangplank's ult, as well as Misfortune's ult, there was just so much that they could do in a straight-up 5v5, and SAJ knew that. That's why they never gave the Singapore Sentinels the chance to go for a 5v5.
And along with that, Hallelujah didn't manage to get tanky enough early on. He got shut down pretty effectively in that jungle. He wasn't able to survive those pokes in order to get the initiate on, and Annie, being the support, wouldn't be able to do so either, because if she steps up to try and engage, the spears and the pokes coming out from Ezra will be enough to take her down to almost no health. And if your tank can't do it and the support can't do it, it's almost impossible to engage on that poke composition.
Right, so we are going to be coming back for another exciting match, the Saigon Fantastic 5 going up against the world champions, Team Taipei Assassins next. And we'll be back with that in a bit.
League of Legends is played in 5 versus 5 team combat. Each player controls an individual champion, using its unique abilities to aid allies and destroy enemies. Each team has a base filled with minions, turrets, and most importantly, the Nexus. The first team to push into the enemy base and destroy their Nexus wins the game. Players kill enemy minions, turrets, and champions to acquire gold and experience, growing stronger over the course of the match. Gold purchases powerful items, while experience allows a champion to level up and improve their special abilities. The scoreboard at the top of the screen shows you how many champion kills and how much gold each team has acquired. While these numbers are good indicators of how each team is performing, the only thing that matters is the destruction of the Nexus. No game is truly over until the final seconds.
Wow, banana. Wow, banana. Campus invasion.
Hey, how you been, man? It's been so long since I seen you. You remember me? What's up, man? How you been? How you been? It's been a long time. What's up, man? Hey, you guys. It's been so long since I seen you.
Oh my god, hi! It's been such a long time since I last saw you. How are you doing? How are you doing now?
I don't know who you are.
How have you guys been? You don't remember me?
We met like about a couple of months back at the party.
Which party?
Dude, why?
FYM.
Jack, right?
You don't remember me at all?
It's been so long.
So tired of blowing, guys.
Hello. Thank you. Bye.
Wow, banana.
Seriously, can everyone just stop staring at me? I know I'm famous, but does everyone have to stare at me while I'm eating?
You have been slain.
Oh my god, what the hell? Oh my god, what the hell?
Oh my God, what the hell? Ano ba, bang? Why dice yun? What the hell?
Oh, bother, you uncivilized buffoons.
Walao eh, sibei jalan. Walao eh, sibei jalan.
Wow!
Bang, you're playing damn terung, you know. Tanvi, what the hell? You're so bad at this. The hello, what the hell are you doing? This technology is so stupid.
I hate my life. Yes, save the carry. Where the f***'s my support? Ciao. Like, comment, and subscribe to win and check out our other videos. Next week we have something really special coming out, so
Wow, banana.
Wayang, a traditional theater performance to act falsely or pretentiously with the intention of deceiving others.
I have a huge headache.
I think I need to bring you to the emergency room.
Oh, I just need an MC. Yeah, dude, I'm just 5 minutes away. Just one stop. I'll be there soon, man. I'm just one stop away.
Ew, she looks so fat and ugly in this picture.
Study? Oh, come on, who needs to study for tomorrow's exam?
Man, the new Justin Bieber album just sucks.
I know, right? What kind of man listens to that?
Yeah.
You know you love me, I know you care. Have you checked out Justin Bieber's new album?
Oh my god, I totally love him.
You call that a camera? Check out this one. Just bought a new lens. Takes awesome shots. Wanna have a look?
Because you went bananas.
Oh my god, that was such a good one. I just got it. Nah, man, it's alright. Let me get this one.
I got a big paycheck coming in.
No, I'm not kidding. I just got a huge
Trust
bonus.
me, I've got.
Yeah, let me just get this. I'll get this.
Yeah,
let me get this. I don't think I brought my cards.
I'll get it.
Hey, sweetheart, what are you up to?
Oh, nothing. I'm just reading a book. Hey, baby, what are you doing?
Nothing much. Just reading a book.
I can totally drink. I'm not drunk! Like the other day I was walking in Holland Village and I saw this girl in sleepers. Oh my god, so gross, totally out of fashion.
Oh man, rough night yesterday, man. This chick had her hands all over me. Great legs. What time do they open?
Wow, banana.
Wow, banana.
Hi.
You wanna go do something fun?
Can't you see I'm playing? Hi, nice to meet you. Sorry, what was that? What? I can't hear you. You just call me a bastard?
Too skinny, too bimbotic, too blonde. Wow, I really like your top.
That's the first time someone said that to me. I'm so touched. I really like you.
Okay.
What? That's all you have to say? Asshole. Do you want to go for dinner together?
I need to ask my mom first. Mom, is it okay if I go out with Foxy? I just met you 5 minutes ago, but will you marry me?
There you are. I was wondering where you went. I'm so worried. I think you're the most awesome guy I've ever met. You know all my favorite food, my favorite colors, and all my favorite things. You're really my best friend.
Wow, banana.
Pah! Banana.
Hey bro, what are you guys queuing for?
Don't know, just queue lah.
Quite long, huh? Must be good, huh?
Hey, hang on, I got seat. Chop first, chop first. Hey, that one's my seat ah.
Why? What do you mean your seat?
You never see I chop with tissue box, meh?
Chop, see me.
What? This is I chop one eh. This is my seat oh.
Don't you like this? I'm gonna stomp you, huh?
Oh yeah, you storm me. You think I scared? Is it?
Yeah.
Storm ah.
Storm.
Can we eat yet? I'm so hungry.
Dinner leh?
I don't know leh.
Choose a place lah.
Never mind lah.
Biang leh.
Anywhere lor.
Cow.
I bought this phone yesterday. It's awesome. This phone is LCD, is 3% brighter than my previous phone, and it comes with 50 different shades of grey. The battery life lasts 5 minutes more.
Where can I get one?
Oi, donate, oi, donate lah, charity. $1 only? Donate some lah. Donate more lah. 50 cents only.
Hey bro, which camp you from You got try the new combat ration damn nice I know a sure way kena pesky one. Walao, I tell guy duty on Christmas
Ayo, tell me about it, man. I kena Chinese New Year last time.
Why can't you be like Auntie Lilia's daughter? 35 already, still no baby. Uncle Ben's son can tie the cherry stem with his tongue.
Hey bro, damn hungry
Hey, we go Geylang eat fish lah.
Hey bro, damn horny lah.
We go Geylang eat fish lah.
Wow, banana. Oh my god, I didn't put your shirt right now.
Hi guys, and welcome back to... Wow, I just realized I'm not wearing my microphone.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Garena Premier League. We are going into Game 2. We have Saigon Fantastic 5 going up against the Taipei Assassins. And Djehuty, first you want to play for the Taipei Assassins. Now you're not going to wear your microphone. Are you going to continue being a shoutcaster?
Oh my goodness, welcome. Okay, so like you were saying, Saigon Fantastic 5 up against the Taipei Assassins. We saw them debut yesterday up against Saigon Jokers, and they did pretty well. I mean, they put up a good fight. Today we saw the Saigon Jokers actually do so well, and we now know like where they are standing as a team. They just played against the Singapore Sentinels. They ran a very interesting poke composition, focusing on having Nidalee and Kazakhs being the main pokers, and it worked out really well.
And they had Sona, who rushed an Aegis of Legion, just making sure my microphone didn't die on me again there. Sona rushing an Aegis of Legion. With her Q, it's going to provide extra ability power, extra attack damage to her allies, and with Ezreal, Nidalee, and Kazakhs doing all that poke, it was fantastic to watch.
It was so fun, and we're already right into bans and picks here really quickly. SF5 going to go for that first ban, and it's Orianna straight away. Can I guess Anivia next? I mean,
respecting Toys Orianna there, banning it out.
They really do fear him.
We see an Evelyn ban from the Taipei Assassins coming out. She's been a champion that's been highly picked and highly banned lately. Be interested to see if we see a Kazakhs ban, then he'd be 100% banned or picked so far in the Garena Premier League.
You're right, 100% ban pick for Kazakhs. Just that just goes to show how strong he is in the current meta.
And he also has a 100% win rate right now. And there we go, the ban coming out from Saigon Fantastic 5.
They don't want to let Kazakhs get picked up again, even though they have that first pick. So let's see why they went ahead with the Kazakhs ban.
So it looks like Taipei Assassins going out with a Lee Sin ban. Lee Sin is a good counter to Mundo in the jungle. I know that TPA Lowballs loves to play Mundo. So we might see him pick that up once again. He's been playing him quite a lot lately. Still waiting for Saigon Fantastic 5's final ban.
Are we going to see Anivia? No, it's going to be Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank.
And I believe that, did Dinter play Blitzcrank in his first match? I can't remember whether he played it.
I think he might have or miss.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. But Blitzcrank being banned out there is one of the supports that we've seen banned quite often because of just how game-changing one grab can be. I mean, you could be missing grabs all the way in the lane and then land just one big grab in a team fight late game, and it just could change the entire outcome of a match.
So we have Blitzcrank and Twist of Fate, the final bans coming out. Twist of Fate is one of those champions that has an almost global ultimate that can help majority of the lanes and help majority of the match at any point of time once he hits level 6. Shen is not banned out, so it'll be interesting to see if they do pick up Shen here. Zyra being the first pick for the Saigon Fantastic 5. We did see a Zyra ban yesterday from the Saigon Jokers, and we thought it might be a targeted ban at the Saigon Fantastic 5, so it'll be interesting to see how well Zyra does do in this game.
Yeah, they have first picked it. I mean, we don't really see Zyra being first picked that often.
And as we were talking about, we see Shen being picked up here and possibly Olaf, two very, very strong picks at the moment.
And having Shen there with that global ultimate is so useful to a team. But maybe they're deciding against it. Are they going to go for Tariq as their second pick rather than Shen? It looks like they may just go for this Tariq pick.
We did
just 5 seconds left.
We did see a Tariq versus Zyra at bot lane yesterday, whereby they had Tariq Graves against a Zyra Ezreal, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Zyra Ezreal, and it went in favor of Zyra's team because every time Tariq came to engage, she put out those roots to stop Tariq from advancing, and a few times they got a little bit too greedy and tried to go for Zyra, but weren't able to do that. Saigon Fantastic 5 gonna pick up the Graves though.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about just how good Zyra is at stopping Tariq from really getting that dazzle in, because he's got to walk up straight forward. If he wants to close in the distance and land his dazzle, he's got to walk straight forward, and that's the easiest time for Zyra to land her grasping vines. So picking up Tariq against Zyra, maybe there's something that TPA knows that we don't know, because after all, they are the Season 2 world champions.
We did see Safety put a fantastic performance on Tariq yesterday on the side of the Saigon Jokers with some excellent flash, almost unexpected flash stun combos, followed up with a dazzle and his ultimate, which provided quite a few teams for his team. There was even a gank that was coming in from QTV where he didn't even manage to get the assist because his flash stun combo along with the Graves follow was too fast for the Saigon Fantastic 5 to follow up with. We see Sivir being picked up here by the Taipei Assassins. Sivir was one of those champions that was really popular in the Korean scene, also quite popular among COG and A as well in Season 2, but we haven't seen much of her lately, and Stanley looks like he might be picking up Nidalee here.
Well, yesterday we did see we saw a couple of unconventional picks already for AD carries. BB was playing Varus yesterday, and today he's going to be playing, not yesterday, I mean the day before, and today he's going to be playing Sivir, but we didn't really see him do that well as Varus, and I didn't feel like the combination between BB and Dinter was as strong as what Mistake and BB were, but it could have possibly been just that match. Maybe we'll see them up their game and just pick up the standards in this match, and hopefully we'll see BB back to where he was before.
So we do finally see Chen being picked up by the Taipei Assassins. Saigon Fantastic 5 look like they might go in for a Lulu pick here, so we might actually see Zyra in the mid lane.
Yes, I think that's what's going to be.
That might actually be what the targeted ban was all about, and Navy picks up that Jarvan, a very common pick right now, and maybe an Irelia pick, which I don't think we have seen so far in the spring season.
No, I don't think we've seen Irelia being picked up just yet, and she's going to be a fun pick to have there. She's also come back in popularity since Season 3. Actually, we did see her. On the first day, I remember there was an Irelia pick, and we were talking about how Irelia builds Zephyr nowadays. A lot of people are building up Zephyr. It gives you attack speed. It gives you tenacity as well. So it's an interesting item that you can pick up for lots of DPS on Irelia just because of how that hit-in style works. The more attack speed you have, the more you're going to be applying that true damage.
So there's a lot of crowd control coming out from the Saigon Fantastic 5. We have the root from Zyra, the AoE knockout coming up, AoE knockout from Jarvan, and the Cataclysm going to be able to lock them in place. Violet's going to be able to dash in there along with the Lulu knockup that's going to be able to place on one of the people that's going to dash in, most likely either Aurelia or Jarvan there to add the extra crowd control, extra health as well, and the shield and slow coming out from Lulu. It's going to be quite a devastating, hard-to-initiate team fight coming out from the Saigon Fantastic 5.
Right, and the great thing there is that they always have that combo with Jarvan, Irelia, and Lulu. They can always get in there and use the Wild Growth to just pop up the enemies, put in that slow, and at the same time, if they initiate, they're really tanky throughout the fight.
And it's going to allow Zyra and Graves to burst down Taipei Assassins from the backline. And on the side of the Taipei Assassins, we have a lot of single target damage coming out. We have Rise, who has a beastly late game, getting very tanky, has a lot of ability power damage. Tariq with that single target shutdown with the Dazzle. Shen can get those good taunts out that can taunt multiple members of the team, but can also lock down single targets. Sivir has excellent single target damage on her auto attack reset coming from her W, and also Lil Balls has that true damage on his E, and the Axis are going to be coming out quite frequently as well.
Right, so I wonder though how Toys is going to be dealing with Zyra at the mid lane. Zyra is one of those champions, like we said again, Rise is going to have to come in. He's got a shorter range than Zyra, so he's going to have to move in if he wants to harass. And she's going to be able to put down the plants as well as the vines in between them to make it very hard for him to do that.
But also, if Toys does manage to get that snare onto Zyra, which is one of Zyra's weakness, hard initiates, if he does get that snare down and followed up with his QE, QW combos, it's going to be quite devastating to her. It's going to chunk quite a bit of her health at that mid lane.
She's quite a soft champion. So if they do manage to catch her, it's going to be devastating. But if he manages to stay away, I think that he has a pretty decent laning phase up against Rise.
So
yeah, go ahead.
We have not Shen in jungle. We do have low balls picking up Olaf in the jungle with no flash. That's going to be quite hard for him. Since they have a Jarvan enemy team, normally I would expect an Olaf to take flash. Jarvan does counter Olaf in some way because he can create a wall that protects his allies. If he manages to keep Olaf out of the fight while he poks Ragnarok, while he's immune to CC, he won't be able to run through those Cataclysm walls. So a lot of Olafs pick up flash to jump out of the Cataclysm wall and then activate Ragnarok and then chase down the enemy AP or AD carry. But he has Ghost in the jungle here, so he would not be able to do that if SF5 Egg does use his Cataclysm well.
That's a very interesting thing to know. Yeah, Ragnarok can't get you out of the Cataclysm. So if he gets caught in it with that Ghost, it could be a tide turner in these battles. So we're going to see SF5 here picking up Crystalline Flasks on Irelia and Zyra.
And this is a dream come true here. No boots being bought, level 1. No more brown shoes. And why does Sivir have a biscuit? So does Olaf here. Both champions have the biscuit. So a lot of utility spec being put into the Taipei Assassins mastery tree here.
You have to go 9 points for the biscuit.
I think
you
need
need 9 points. So it might be 2109.
Could be.
It could be the extra mana regen that she wanted. Let's have a look at what she has here. MP regen. I think she has the mana regen.
It's quite a bit of mana per fight. That's going to be 2 mana per second. Sivir is a pretty mana hungry champion. That Q has one of the highest level 1 damages though if it hits you both going back and forth. They're going to go for an invade here. Dinter might be able to catch out Lulu if he's fast enough. Nope, managed to walk away quick enough for them to react. And they do put down a ward at their own red buff to spot if Taipei Assassins do continue with this invade. I don't think they were spotted there though, but Jarvan's going to put the flag down, get a little bit of extra vision while Dinter places that side ward there.
Oh, trying to use the grasping roots there.
Interesting to see as well, Shen had started out with cloth armor and 5 pots for the Taipei Assassins. That's a build we haven't been seeing as much. It was a build popularized in Season 1 going to early Season 2. But we haven't seen it as much since boots became the #1 starting item among all champions.
Well, it kind of makes sense that he doesn't want to pick up the Crystalline Flask. Normally, we see a lot of these top laners pick up the Crystalline Flask. But with Shen, you don't really benefit from the mana regeneration of the Flask. So going cloth armor.
So he's going to
be the better call there.
He's going to have a little bit more armor against Irelia at this top lane, while Irelia will have 300 extra health in terms of that flask use and a bit of extra mana as well. 120 mana coming out, so he's going to be able to sustain a bit well, but Stanley's going to be able to tank a little bit more from her. But that doesn't matter to Irelia because most of her damage will come from that true damage of her hits and stuff.
So the teams are going to go for normal lanes here. Normal being the Bruiser at the top, AD carry at the bottom, and the AP mid at the middle.
Did see Lil Balls went for a fast blue, smited it, and now he's on his red buff really quickly. Didn't even take Wraith, so he might be going for a quick invade or gank right now. Jarvan did the same, took his red buff, didn't even take Wraiths, and has gone for his blue, and he's now heading to top lane. Low Balls on the other hand has gone for his double goal. Stun goes out to Violet, he has to flash away from that one. BB throws out the Boomerang Blade, but nice exhaust coming out from Saigon for Assassins 5, negating majority of the damage coming out from that Boomerang Blade.
We may see a gank coming in here at the top lane. Egg goes in there, the taunt from Shen keeps him safe from harm. And it's going to be largely a pointless gank there for Jarvan.
So that's going to put Lil Ball slightly ahead. He has managed to clear out most of his jungle. Jarvan is still at top lane. He's going to waste quite a bit of time. Lil Ball's actually going into Jarvan's jungle right now. He might be able to spot him if he does come back down, but no, he's going to be able to take these wolves free of charge if he wants to right now. It's also going to tell Stanley that Jarvan has not left that top area because he has not gone down for those wolves, so he's going to be able to play a little bit more safe.
Egg here with some pretty nice counter jungling. Picked up the big wolf there, coming in, tossing his axe. Just a little bit of minor harass there, just showing his presence at the middle lane. And it helps, really, just showing the enemy that you're around, forces them to play a little bit more safe. BB here taking a lot of poke, but putting down just as much damage onto Youngsu.
Violet is going to be able to sustain a little bit more in this lane. Vivi is already quite low and only the Doran's Blade to regenerate health there. Tarek does have that small heal, but he is running low on mana. And since Graves has used those 2 pots already and is higher health than BB, he'll be able to trade more effectively with BB if he doesn't get stunned by Tarek.
Oh, there's a hard engage coming in here. Toys is going to get jumped on by Zyra. They're trying to get the kill on Egg. The exhaust goes down. He may not be able to get out of this one, but will Toys go down? Yes, he goes down in exchange for that kill. And right now it's Zyra who's in a bit of trouble. Flashes a little bit late, I feel, and that is going to result in the double kill for Lil Balls.
See Violet trying to push on to BB here. Lil Ball's going to throw the axe, gets the slow down. Boomerang putting a lot of damage. Irelia here as well gets the stun, but only managed to go into a slow because his health is lower. So good exchange for the Taipei Assassins. They have 2 for 1 with double kill going on to Lil Balls. BB getting very low. Violet will be able to pick up with the minions, finish him off though. Purple caster minions are too strong for Violet right now.
Very, very aggressive play there. And at this point, it is the Taipei Assassins who kind of won on in that engagement, because at the top lane, Stanley managed to pick up a couple of free CS while Irelia was gone.
He now out-levels Irelia by 1 level, so he's going to be able to zone her a little bit. Navy will not want to fight Stanley while he is at a level disadvantage for fear of being out-damaged and poked out of lane. Especially with a minion wave this large, he'll want to stay back a bit. He goes in for a few last hits, gets the stun off, and wisely walks away.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for him to trade with that cloth armor on Shen. So Irelia there, especially with that big wave, has to just let him push forward. But of course, Irelia has got that Blade Surge, so last hitting under the turret is not going to be too much of a problem there.
So all the lanes gone pretty quiet now. Violet and Yangshu are going to try and push onto BB and Dinter. They have a larger minion wave, so they might want to try and get an engage on, but BB is a level ahead of Violet here. Stun goes down to Violet. He does dash away. The Boomerang still hits him. They change their damage onto Dinner. He managed to heal that up though.
Oh, big fight at the middle lane. Here comes Egg, and they just chunk away at Zyra. It's a 3-man gang. 3-man gang there, and there's just nothing that Zyra can do to survive that one.
Shen still has his ultimate out as well. Stan United is still available. Didn't use that for that gank. Walked down to middle lane to get that off, so it's going to be an advantage to his team still having that up.
Oh, Lil Ball is coming in with a gank at the bottom lane. He's just been all over the place this match. Will they go for that dive on Youngsu and decide it's not worth it, just to support there?
So Lil Ball's have played fantastically so far. He has picked up 3 kills and an assist himself while still farming his jungle pretty effectively. He is level 6 as a jungler, keeping up with the solo lanes right now.
He's 1,000 gold ahead of the enemy jungler. His counterpart there, Jarvan, is at 1,500 gold, while Lil Balls is at 2,700.
He also has the highest gold in the game right now. BB picks up a kill onto Yangshu at bot lane. Also with Lil Balls down there, showing how effective he has been in this jungle. Only 1 kill for the Taipei Assassins, which is when BB got jumped on by Violet and Yangshu at middle lane. Was not with Lil Balls' help there.
Right now, he's 2 levels ahead of Violet. That is a massive advantage that he's having. Gonna back off, see what he decides to pick up. Gold-wise, he's got about 1,300 gold saved up. So he's gonna be able to pick up an item. Maybe not the BF sword he wants to, but something's gonna be picked up most likely.
TPA Toys already has his Tear of the Goddess and a blue buff right now, so he's going to be able to spam his spells, build up that Tear of the Goddess as fast as possible. Every point in mana he gets, his Q and W abilities will scale accordingly and deal extra damage. So it's going to be a great item for him to get early, which he has, and rush and get as much mana as he possibly can coming into late game.
Yeah, we've seen Ryze building up Muramana a lot recently. And it is just such a powerful item on him. It works on your spells as well. It allows your spells to deal an extra percentage base of your current mana. And of course, it boosts your attack damage as well. So just so much stuff that you can do with Muramana on Ryze.
It allows his single target DPS to become even higher with that attack damage and also that active from Muramana, as you were talking about. since Rise is majority a single target damage dealer, stun goes out onto Jiangshu here. Exhaust goes out. Wow, taking
look
down
at the
so
burst damage.
fast. Flash comes in, doesn't get Stanley in range for the taunt though. Violet smartly flashes away from that one. Rise coming in from the back. Another stun will be up soon. Jarvan knocks him up though. Keep him away. Cataclysm goes down. SF5 Egg does take him down. Taunt comes out from Stanley over the Cataclysm wall, but not able to follow up there. So a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Taipei Assassins, and Zyra is coming out. Will he get the grasping roots? Does get onto Stanley, slow is down, pops the ultimate, is gonna knock him off, just manages to, but no tower aggro onto Stanley right now, so not much they're able to do.
And there's just not enough DPS. BB gonna pop that shield. Toys coming in here, putting down some pressure from the top side and preventing them from continuing that chase down onto the remaining members of TPA.
So
How much damage is that Boomerang Blade dealing? Oh my goodness. It's about 260 each way.
So if it hits the target both ways, on the first hit, it will hit him for about 500 damage.
Just crazy, crazy damage. Add on to that the fact that he's got that early brutalizer, and you'll realize just how painful it is.
This has allowed Navy to farm that top lane and push it out. Didn't manage to take the tower when Stanley used that Stand United. It's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage for him that he didn't manage to get that while he was at bottom lane, but he has picked up 12 minion score ahead of Stanley. It's going to put him a little bit ahead in lane, but those assists from Stanley are going to make up for it.
At the bottom lane, looks like TPA BB wants to freeze this lane, not really pushing it out. But with SF5 away from the lane, not too much point for him to do that right now. Stanley here, however, is probably going to push this out. Irelia is gone. And he is, I think, going to put a little bit of pressure there.
So we see at the bottom lane, Sivir does have a brutalizer, as you said before, ahead of Graves. Graves actually just picked up another Doran's Blade to try and even out the disadvantage, have a little bit more health, a little bit more attack damage to do some sustained damage during these early level team fights. And Taipei Assassins are going to go for the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, very nice timing there. They knew exactly when the AD carry as well as the AP mid had gone back to base. So that was just a free dragon, even without the help of Stanley. Navy here jumping onto Stanley and not dealing that much damage at all.
Not as smart.
So that was a very, very poor trade for him. You can see Stanley here building up towards that early Sunfire Cape. Very, very popular item right now.
Wasn't a smart decision for Navy to engage up. There was so many creeps on Stanley's side, and also the Q from Stanley was on him, so it would regenerate the health.
Look at that, they managed to take out the ward before, right as they planted it. That is going to be costly for them. Navy here is taking a lot of damage.
Gank goes down on bottom by Jarvan as well. Dinter is very low, gets caught in Cataclysm. Violet cannot stay inside to do extra damage. BB might be able to take him down if he comes back in for this one. Dinter is very low. BB almost takes out Yangshu. Will he get the double kill on Violet as well? Gets hit by a tower. Will he get taken down? Zyra comes in, kills him with the Q, and SF5 Egg does manage to take down Dinter as well. So a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Saigon Fantastic 5.
In the meantime, though, Toys has taken this opportunity of Zyra leaving the lane to just push forward. And he's got quite a lot of damage down onto that turret right now. Is he going to be building an Archangel Staff? Wow, just going straight onto Zyra here. Look at that burst damage, walking up straight away. He doesn't have enough mana, but it is just barely enough. Look at how little mana he had there. He had 50 mana left, but he knew exactly how much he needed to finish that off. Egg there without any mana is not going to be a threat to him.
And as we were talking about during Champion Select, as if Rise managed to get close to Zyra to pop that QW, QEQ combo, it's going to devastate Zyra's health, and we just then Zyra couldn't do anything to retaliate.
Yeah, it was a little bit poor of a move on her part to just walk right into Rise there. She basically gave him the free kill there. I think she underestimated the amount of burst that he could put out.
Into their popped his ultimate to try and push onto the tower. If I'm not mistaken, low balls is there as well to try and take down that mid tower, and they do manage to take it down. First tower of the game going to the Taipei Assassins. They have clocked up a 5k gold advantage 13 minutes into the game.
Yeah, looking at the CS, there's a pretty big lead here for the AP carries. Rise at 107 compared to 67. Little bit of aggression here by Navy. Using his ult. He wants to push this out before he backs off. But at what cost? Stanley here is just going to jump straight onto him. Rise going in for that gank at the bottom lane. Young Stu has been caught out. The boomerang blade just chunking him. Lil Ball's coming in as well. He's got the ghost popped here. Gonna miss that first axe, but in comes the flash from Toys. Egg though comes to intercept this fight. And we're gonna see Stanley coming in with the ult. The Stan United gets used there. Violet is in the back lines putting out that damage. Zyra though doesn't have enough DPS of her own here to finish off anybody. And oh, TPA just running through the turret and grabbing those kills.
4 for 2 exchange in the TPA, and it was a fantastic play by Toys there. He was pretty much dead in that fight. Navy's going to try and clean up here, gets onto Dinner, puts the slow down. The rest of the TPA there is ready to back him up. And as I was saying, Toys made a fantastic play there. He had 50 health and the Ignite was on him, so he stayed in the fight to the last breath, putting out as many auto attacks and QW combos as he could, and helped his team win that fight there.
He's gone for a Rod of Ages straight away here. And that's going to make him very, very tanky. Additional health as well as mana from that. Perfect item for Rise.
It gives him all the stats he needs: mana, health, ability power, and it also scales with the amount of time the game goes through to a maximum amount.
And it makes sense that he hasn't picked up the Mana Mooner yet. Oh, Navy here is going to get caught out by Lil Balls. Are they going to go in for him? The flash gets used there. He's going to escape from that one. But it looks to be that they want to continue this aggression. They know that the blue buff is up. Little Balls comes in here. He's going to be able to smite that away easily. And that is not good at all for SF5.
Little Balls has been all around the map from early to mid game right now. Managed to counter jungle effectively. Picked up so many ganks on both top, bottom, and mid lane. He's been doing fantastic in this game.
Yeah, I think he is the MVP of the match right now. Just look at that, 3-1-4. He's been in almost all of those fights. All of these ganks that he's been making on the lanes have been the ones that are snowballing them. So it's really thanks to Lil Ball's amazing jungling here that the Taipei Assassins have managed to pick up such a definitive lead this early on. Almost a 7,000 goal. No, more than a 7,000 goal lead here.
BB has picked up that Bloodthirst and now combo with that Brutalize. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to this bottom lane. Violet tries to trade there with the shield from Luluan, but it is not enough to stop BB from keep pushing out this lane.
BB is so aggressive at this bottom lane, and he can afford to be, because Little Ball's right now coming in here. He might be expecting Egg to come down. Egg is almost constantly forced to babysit this lane. Oh, Zyra, what are you walking into? Lil Balls wasn't looking, I think he was looking away for a minute there. Zyra comes in. The ult, the Ragnarok will prevent him from being disabled, and they're able to pick up that kill. BB now a little bit low on health. He's going to have to be careful if he wants to get in there for those pokes. The Boomerang Blade just dealing so much damage.
One Boomerang Blade is looking as devastating as the Needly Spear from last game. They are poking them down on Initiate on the real Little Balls, as you said, wasn't watching there, but still managed to pick up the kill on Zyra. Now they might be able to push on this bottom lane or go for the Dragon, which has just respawned.
And Stanley doing what he always does at that top lane, put pressure and continuously push it. And you can see there that earlier is just having a hard time stopping the train that is Stanley.
Stanley still has only used that Stan United once so far for the massive gank at bottom lane where Taipei Assassins picked up 4 kills. His Stan United is still up, so he'll be able to help his team globally. Looks like Egg, and here's Trey trying to get on Stanley here, gets the slowdown. He is now at half health, but he looks like he's turning around. Lil Ball's coming to back him up, mixes the axe though, picks it up, gets back onto Egg. He's going to throw another axe soon, but the rest of Taipei Assassins have run away.
Yeah, they don't want to go for that fight. I suspect that it is because it is a little bit too close to the turret there. And you do realize that the rest of the team is coming in to back them up. So just a smart move there.
Saigon Fantastic 5 trying to push out this mid lane as much as possible, while BB does return to the bottom lane to farm. Aurelia is running up to top lane. Stanley looks like he's going to clear out these wraiths and go home. Picks up yet another Giant's Belt there. Turns it into a Warmog straight away. So he has a Warmog, a Sunfire Cape, and a Ninja Tabby already. So he's going to be quite a tank to deal with. Lil Balls has that Warmog's Hunter's Machete, Philo Stone, and Berserker Greaves to aid him in the front line. He's going to be doing a bit more damage though in the front line compared to Shen.
Looks like SF5 wants to gather up here for that team fight. They do have a lot of AoE there, so it does benefit them to engage in these 5v5s. But Little Balls is so manly, he's just gonna go right in there, going straight for Violet. Violet is struggling to get away from this Olaf. The exhaust goes down, and he will get picked up there by Navy, but Stanley comes in, and he will drive Violet away, further away. Right now it's Navy who's a little bit left behind there. Will they be able to get away? No, the Rise Rune Prison comes in there. Rise trying to get in for Navy. The stun from the maximum range will pick up Navy.
It's a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Taipei Assassins. Little Balls rushed into the enemy team with Stanley, Stan United on top of him. They weren't able to burst him down in time, and Little Balls stayed there to the last breath. Even though he was taken out rather quickly, he did enough damage to SF5 along with Stanley's backup in order to give his team the advantage to pick up a 3-for-1 exchange. Now Taipei Assassins is going to try and do this Baron. I do not know if they have enough, though. Dinter's very low, Stanley's quite low, and no mana on both the AD and AP carry. They're going to try and chase after Zyra here. Just gets snared before he can put down the Rune Prison, though. Will he continue, though? Taunt from Stanley just misses. Zyra has to flash away from that one, so good flash burn there.
And Toys is just so beast right now. So much damage coming out of him.
He even has the upgrade that goes into Shurelia's. I'm not remembering correctly.
The Kindle
Gem.
Yeah, he's got the Kindle Gem.
20% cooldown reduction, along with Runes of Mastery. He's going to have almost full cooldown reduction.
And Fura right now. Fura is a nice pickup on Rise. Rise has a lot of single target spells, so he's going to be able to get those movement speed buffs very easily.
And also with his ultimate, he's going to be able to be extremely fast into Saigon Fantastic 5 and deal that single target damage to the squishy champions on their team.
Yeah, he's going to get 45 extra movement speed. Add on to that the 12% extra from his boots. He's going to be running pretty darn fast.
So we see a lot of AD carries not going for that critical build anymore. We see a lot of them building up flat damage. Dinter here getting caught out along with TPA and Lobo. Stanley comes over the top. Yamashu's going to get taken out really fast. There goes Lulu. Puffs the ultimate too late though. Now Lil Ball's in a little bit of trouble. Gets caught by the Cataclysm. Navy is going to take him down. But Zyra's in a bit of a bad problem here. Navy's going to get taken down. Looks like he stopped there. A little bit of lag maybe. Bibi's getting poked down by Violet. Jarvan tries to come in, but gets taunted by Shen halfway through his knockup. TPA Sani does take down Zyra though. Bibi does take down Jarvan. A double kill for Bibi. Clutch kill all while Toys is pushing down bot lane.
Just such crazy micro. Do you see him basically just canceling his attacks and moving towards the right? It prevented Jarvan from jumping onto him. Just such great awareness there from Bibi, and finally using that flash. He tried to avoid the buckshot, I think, but he didn't quite do it. But still, managing to pick up that triple kill, as well as 2 turrets here from the middle as well as the bottom lane. TPA is doing so well. About 14,000 gold in the lead right now.
14,000 gold in the lead, and a first ace of the game. It is looking very good for the Taipei Assassins at the moment.
Look at the gold that's on BB, 10,000 gold. He's way ahead of anyone on the Saigon Fantastic 5. The closest one there, 6,200 gold, is on Irelia.
Dinter actually has more gold than anybody on Saigon Fantastic 5 right now. The support for the Taipei Assassins has more gold than the carries of the Saigon Fantastic 5. That's going to be quite devastating.
There's so much armor penetration right now on BB, it's ridiculous. He's just going to shred anyone that he focuses on. And look at that, the Boomerang Blade takes out the creep wave in just one throw. I mean, even one direction is enough to take it out.
And he's not going to be relying on critical chance to take down the tanks and front line of Saigon Fantastic 5. His armor penetration is going to be enough. Ooh, Navy almost getting caught out there. Ran to the back of the brush just in case. Toys decided to check that brush there.
That must have been scary for him. Hextech Revolver getting picked up here for Toys.
He gets a little bit of spell vamp from his ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. That Hextech Revolver is going to give him a little bit more. Great for the single target damage, and he's just a tanky AP champion. We don't see Glacial Shroud being built as much on him anymore, but he's still rather tanky for an ability powdered champion. He has to be because he is such a short range champion. That Hextech Revolver is going to allow him to heal up quite well in team fights.
So what is TPA doing right now? They've got Little Balls pushing off at the bottom lane. They may, I'm pretty sure they can take the Baron. They're not going to do it. They're going to go for the Dragon instead. In the meantime, Little Ball is just going to keep the attention of SF5 focused at that bottom lane, prevent them from countering the Dragon.
Little Balls himself is building up a Vampiric Scepter, and Shen here has a Zeal as an item.
Interesting. What could he be picking up of that? He's got Alacrity as his boost there.
He might be picking up a Static Shiv as his item here. I know that Wicked from COG EU likes to pick up Ionic Spark before they remove it from the game. Static Shiv is sort of like the replacement for Ionic Short, does AoE magic damage to multiple targets, and also gives that increased attack speed, but no health increase. Might be the item Stanley's going to pick up here.
Right, he could very well be going for that. Look at Navy just retreating away from Stanley. I don't know if he wants to be going one-on-one with him right here, because Stanley is just so tanky. He's got Warmogs plus the Sunfire Cave, regenerating 50 health every 5 seconds. And I think TPA is going to set up for this Baron.
Poison Little Ball is going to try and do a two-man Baron. I think if they split tank this and avoid the knockouts from Baron, they will be able to do this. Little Balls does get increased attack speed the lower health he gets.
I guess you can call the Little Balls Toys combo Little Boys. So Little Boys here trying to take out the Baron themselves. But yeah, they get a little bit of assistance here. Oh, Young Seer is in big trouble. Stanley's coming in. He's got that Alacrity, but thankfully Zyra there keeping him away. Zyra though gonna get targeted there by Toys. And it is Egg right now who is way out of position. No escape from him here. No escape for him here. And he goes down so easily.
With Baron buff and all this lifesteal and spell vamp coming out from the Taipei Assassins, they're gonna be able to push down this tower with ease.
Yeah, they're not even afraid of it. They're just gonna straight up tank it. Little Balls here taking the brunt of the damage from it. And Stanley is just going to zone them out all by himself. 3 members of the team being zoned out by Stanley here. Jinja comes in with the stun. Violet here has to be careful. The exhaust goes down on Stanley. Don't think he has his taunt up just yet. And Toys, is he going to burst down Zyra in the fountain? In the fountain. Toys though in trouble right now. Gonna get focused down by Navy. Have the Taipei Assassins overextended here? I don't think so. They still have this in the bag. Look at the damage from Olaf. Triple kill. And BB will finish it off with an ace.
Into a little bit of taunting there going on to Aurelia. Running back and forth. Begging her to hit her with the Q there. Delayed ace from the Taipei Assassins. I do think they'll be able to take down these 2 Nexus turrets and finally take down the Nexus with ease here.
Wow, this is going to be a quick finish here. The Taipei Assassins finishing all of their games rather quickly this season. And there we go, the Taipei Assassins picking up the win against the Saigon Fantastic 5. That was a really, really tough game for SF5 there. You saw them just get completely demolished.
Sure was. They had to go up against the Saigon Jokers yesterday, their hometown rivals, and now it's the Taipei Assassins. Didn't do too well either against them. Taipei Assassins managed to finish them off at about 26 minutes into the game in a rather dominating performance from the Taipei Assassins.
Yeah, BB finished that game off 14-2 with a 14,000 goal finishing there. That was like double of what the highest goal on the SF5 team was. I mean, Aurelia was the closest there, 7.6K.
And as we were saying in-game, Dinter had more gold than anybody on the Saigon Fantastic 5. In fact, he had almost 1,000 gold ahead of Navy.
When the support has more gold than the AD carry on the enemy team, you know that it is over.
Yes.
There's no way that it's coming back from that. And anyways, we have a GPL question of the night so that you guys can have a chance to win 300 Garena shells. All you have to do is head over to our Facebook page at the LOL Garena Facebook page and answer a very simple question. This is open only to Singapore and Malaysian summoners. And the question of tonight is, which champion do you want to see being played? Which champion and the build for that champion would you want to see being played for the GPL? So we've seen Crit Plank. What else do you guys want to see?
I want to see a bit more Crit Plank.
More Crit Plank?
More Crit Plank.
All right.
Crit everyone. Criddle sticks, actually.
Criddle sticks, man, with the fear. He'll kill you before you get out of the fear with those crits.
That's the terrifying part about him.
All right, so thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. We hope you enjoyed tonight's matches. We'll be back again next week. This is Djehuty signing off.
Fish here. Good night.